think this is so important in any trader. There will be traders during the monthly reviews where we'll ask them, oh, tell me about your month. What was the P&L? What were your big winners? What were your big losers? And they will not know their month.
Are you studying your month? Are you looking at your trades that you did for the past week or the past month? Every single week, I look at my trades, even when I'm going red. I look at my trades and I recognize the fact that, hey, I woke up for the past couple of weeks and everything that I bought right at the open went to the shitter. Do you have that knowledge? Have you been waking up every single day the past 2 weeks and you woke up and be like, yo, I'm buying everything. They're going up 10% and then they're selling off. What the F is going on? And have you woken up yesterday and today and they're gapping up whatever 20, 30% and they're going up 350%. That little edge, that little tiny edge that you don't see makes the difference between $1 million year and a red year. That little tiny edge, just showing up and just looking at a couple tickers every day and just practicing with small size. I show up in a cold market and be like, oh, they're going up 10% and kind of selling off. That's cool. I lost 50, $100. And today something flipped and you're like, boom, I just went 10 times the size I used from C size to A size. And right now my FJet is up. I doubled my money in FJet from buying at 14. It went up to 30. That's the edge you need. The edge of knowing when we flipped from a cold market to a hot market and then bulldoze your account in those plays because everything you bought today and probably two or three stocks then you're going to buy tomorrow. Actually, probably two out of three you're going to buy tomorrow since I'm waking up at 7 o'clock a.m. like I usually do, they're probably going to go to the moon. Is that random? No, that's you studying chapter 3 of my course, which is done. And recognizing, how long do these cycles last? How often, what is the time frame in which these cycles hot and cold happen? What you should be expecting. Should you be shorting the gappers tomorrow? Like, what is the percent of the gappers you should be shorting? You be shorting 60% gappers? What about 150% gapper? Should you be shorting that gapper tomorrow? That's why you come into the chat room and you listen to what I have to say and you study the course. You need a risk level, shorting from the pre-market highs, shorting from the all-time highs. The work that you did, which I don't know if you did or not, it's going to, spill in tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Next thing you know, your account is at, triple, 7, 8 digits.
There are other traders where they know their month like the back of their hand, and without prompting, they can tell.
I know my month by the back of my hand. I can see it every day. I take screenshots of my trade. Do you take screenshots every day of your trades? Because I do.
You this was my P&L. I was positive this many days. I was negative this many days. These were my big gainers. And these were my big losers. And they have that internalized in their head, not even necessarily because they're doing a detailed monthly review, which often they are, but because they've spent the whole month, the weeks, the days, analyzing their month as it goes. These same traders, like Graham, are also the ones that have this mental memory of what all the charts look like. And it's not because these traders have like excessive memory skills or anything. I truly believe the reason why these traders know their trading and these charts so in depth is because when they study this material, they are doing this in such a full body, like sensory, experiential. They are deep focused thinking about this stuff. They're truly internalizing it. When they leave work, they are.
Yeah, I know every single day. Every single day I show up, and if I take a tiny little loss because I haven't sold for 10% win in a colder market, I remember it. I write it down. I adapt. I make, changes for the next day. You need to constantly be improving and writing those notes. It's just this is the business you're in. This is trading. Welcome to trading.
still thinking about their month. They are thinking about their best trades. They are thinking about what that Bitcoin chart was or what the tell was on that MSTR capitulation. They are obsessing over this stuff so that when it comes to the review, they've already internalized it, because it's such a deep focused process that if you don't love and have that passion for trading, you are not doing anyways. And so all those tells were what allowed me to tell you, Bella, that Graham is going to be great, and what gave me the confidence to stake a young trader in a massive hole that I think anybody reasonably would have betted against. If they only saw the data and didn't know Graham for who he was, they would have bet against him, and nobody would have taken that bet. And that was kind of my giveaway that told me he was going to be special. And for the record, you know, Graham has stayed that same mindset of growth and become a close friend because of that. So much respect to what he has done and accomplished. I mean, all these guys, the adversity they've worked through.
What's interesting to me, and I think it's important to note, not all of our traders always get in holes. I know we're talking about everybody kind of coming out of a hole, but the thing that I think the biggest carry forward for anybody that's watching, anybody that's listening, we're talking about what traders did to help change their trajectory in their trading. And with Graham in particular, there are a couple things that he did that was really what Lance saw, and then what ultimately he's followed through on, which is great. And the first thing that really he just set out with it, he was in a hole, it wasn't trading well. He really wasn't trading the right things for him in the right style of trading that made the most sense to him.